Hey there, Internet. Today we're gonna go over my wash cart. It is actually complete. This is an update video to the previous one that I made, but I'm gonna go over the whole thing again because a lot of products have changed. I moved to a lot of G-Technique products. It's a great local company to my area. They make great products, so I kind of want to support them as well. And they support the build, and let's get right into it. So we'll just go over the whole cart and go over all the products right here. And then we'll go back over it with the camera to kind of show you the whole view, maybe even a little cinematic to music or whatever. It's just easier to explain the products standing right here than having the camera shaking the whole time as I do that because I don't have a cameraman. So these are rim twisters. So this one's gotten kind of worn out, so I've actually bought a new one. I used to use these on my older wheels, but probably not on the new BBSs, but I'll definitely use this on my wife's minivan on the wheels. Hooks up to the drill right here. It does an awesome job, and I'll use this one for my exhaust. This works awesome. It gets in there and it just gets everything out, and the chrome tips just come out perfect. So along in here, we also have our tire brushes. We have the longer bristle one, which I've actually just replaced with the shorter bristle one. I like these a lot more, but I'm actually gonna take my Dremel tool and I think I'm gonna cut this leading edge off because my car's so low and I can't get to the top of the tire without touching the wrap that's on the car. So that'll be something we'll do in the future. All right, let's kind of go over the cart. It's just a Harbor Freight cart. I think it was cheap, like $35 or something like that. It originally was used as a detailing cart for a Maserati that I had before this that was all paint. So that was focused on polishing and all that kind of stuff. Now, since I have a wrap, I'm more focused just on washing with this cart because it's protected pretty well with ceramic coating and that kind of stuff. So you won't see a ton of stuff for paint. It's just so protected that I don't have to go through some of the measures that you would have to with paint to avoid swirls and that kind of stuff. So we have finally, if you have seen the previous video, we have finally now mounted our manual hose reel. So we have our cheap Ryobi from Home Depot, and we have our nozzle. I actually just replaced this nozzle. I get these at, I don't buy the most expensive ones on Amazon or whatever, the MTMs. I'm trying to stay budget friendly. So this is like 35 or 40 bucks at Northern Pool, I believe I got it from. Had the fitting. Got the swivel. We already showed this before. This hose used to be mounted on like a strap on the side, but now we have it to where it's real. It's so much easier to wash cars. I used to dread having to roll this thing up. Now I have this. It just works perfect. I mean, I have no complaints about it. It works perfect. I have no leaks. Everything works great. The next thing I've done is I took the original casters off, and I have two swivel casters on one side that have these awesome locks. These are really high quality casters and casters on that side. Before, with the old ones, it would shimmy all over the place. It would make loud noises. It just wasn't smooth. And this really kind of smoothed it out. I think they're like $10 a piece or something like that. They're really good casters. So that's it for the bottom of the cart. Let's shimmy on over here real quick. We have our detail brushes for our wheels. I use a separate bucket, which isn't right here, but I use a separate bucket to put all my wheel stuff in and just kind of go around the car. I don't ever actually put anything in there. I use the foam can with the W4 here, which I'll go over in a second. And I just foam the wheels up. They're already ceramic coated, so I really don't need anything harsh. These work great. I put these little clips on here as well. These are right at Home Depot. They're little carabiners. So just click on the side. So that way, they're not laying anything because these bristles tend to like lay down and they get kind of out of form. They'll form back, but they keep them nice and OCD for me this way. So first thing we've changed from before, we have the PF22.2 MTM Hydro foam gun. So this is one of the few things that I definitely made sure that I spent a lot of money on before the other ones. They weren't performing as well. They were degrading with the chemicals. This is the best one out there, and now after using it, it's so worth the money. It's double or even triple what a lot of the other foam cannons are, but once you get this one, you're not gonna need another one. And since it's 22.2, it doesn't fall over. It's got the bigger bottom. Before it's kind of like a base shape, so it would fall over. This doesn't fall over anymore. Works great. And that came with the 1.1 millimeter orifice. I made sure I put that back in there. We'll do a video on this one by itself. We have our wheel detail brushes, different sizes. I use this one to apply coating for the tires. It's really easy to put it on the tires, but I use these small ones for the lug nuts and stuff like that on the wheels. A tire applicator I use. I got my gloves here, Gorilla gloves. These work great, especially when applying chemicals or protectants or anything like that. So what else we got here? Funnels, measuring, you know, because whenever you get products, when they say a specific dilution ratio, I believe that I should be using exactly that dilution ratio. So I use those to measure and make sure that I get the exact amount that I need. So we got these double pump sprayers. I bought 3 or 4 of them. I'm kind of reviewing them right now. I don't know quite the verdict is out. They're not impressing me a whole lot, especially certain chemicals depending on the thickness. Straight water, it works great, but with chemicals, it just doesn't seem to be spraying quite the way you'd want to. It doesn't give you that 2-pump efficiency that you would expect. This is actually filled with W5 all-purpose cleaner from G-Technique. And then I just fill it in here. I'm buying a lot of my stuff in bulk now that I've moved to products that I really like. That way I don't have to keep moving around. I'll be able to buy it in bulk, save a little money in here and there. Use code Heidi10 at gtechnique.com to save a little money too as well. This is my IK sprayer. So currently right now I am using this to apply Easy Coat, which is this right here. This is from G-Technique. You use it normally with your water hose, and you connect it to the water hose. You turn it down, spray it on, and then you just rinse it right off. It's a great coating. For your initial application, I would strongly suggest to do it that way. But after that, you're really not supposed to use it again for another month or so. And once the coating wears off, month, 3 months, depending on if you garage it, how you wash it, all that kind of stuff, can be from a month to 3 months. But if you're using it every single time you wash your car, which for me is twice a week, I use an IK sprayer. And I watched a YouTube video at SEMA of them releasing this product, and they said it was a 20-to-1 dilution coming through that sprayer. So I've used 20-to-1 in here. It basically gives me just enough, if I do it right, to cover the whole car as a rinse aid. Give me a nice hydrophobic, because I use a blower right here to blow the car off. So the more hydrophobic, the better, the easier it is to dry the car off. And I mean, you can stack this coating on your one. It's not like it's a bad thing. So what else we got here? We have our nozzle fill. We use this to fill our 2 buckets. Sometimes I use 1 bucket, sometimes I use 2 buckets. Since, like I said, I have a wrap, I can usually foam the car, spray it off, and then just fill the bucket and I'll be good. As long as I do the top of the car, and then towards the end I'll do the bottom of the car, not bringing the dirt up. But it works pretty well. This fills bucket's really great, and it really gets the suds going. What else we got here? Easy Coat, W6 iron and fallout remover. I use this on the wheels, the exhaust pipes, stuff like that. I also use it every 2 to 3 months for the maintenance wash. So the car is ceramic coated, so anytime you do a ceramic coating, even with the wheels, you have to do a maintenance wash, you know, every few months. Their products, especially the all-purpose cleaner, the W6 fallout remover, they're coating safe for G-Technique coatings. They're developed specifically for them. So you can spray it all over the car to get your decontamination and burn that iron out of there. And then use the all-purpose cleaner as well to get the pores and stuff in the ceramic coating kind of unclogged and get the hydrophobic back. You'll start noticing the degradation of the hydrophobicy of the coating over time, especially on the back bumper where the exhaust is and stuff like that. So that's our W6. We have switched to Perfect Glass G6, and this stuff is great. It has no fragrances. It has none of the other stuff in there that would create streaking. It just works really well. Just wipe on and then just wipe off. It cleans really well. Like I said, it's coating safe. We have our C2 V3 liquid crystal. So I have two layers of this on the car on top of the ceramic coating, and I also have 2 layers on top of the coating on the wheels as well. This is their long-term topper coat, I would call it. It's 4 to 6 months, maybe even longer, depending on if you keep care of your car and keep it garaged and don't bring it out in the rain as much. You can get a lot of distance out of this. This is a great product, comes on real easy. Car gets real slick, works great. T1 tire and trim. I've never been one to ever protect my tire, but I was introduced to T1 tire and trim. It's a very matte, very satin finish, so it's not real glossy, but it's a little different than a lot of the other ones. It lasts a lot longer, and it's more of like, I don't know what you call it, semi-permanent, but it lasts a good long time. It plies really well, real easy. And like I said, it doesn't fling all over the car. It works really great. I'll probably have a video on that one at some point. All right, so we have G-Wash, which is what I use for my bucket wash. I don't use this to foam. This is after that. This stuff works really great. I'm actually kind of close to being out. I have to get me another bottle of it. I have no complaints. Works really well. Gets nice suds, not just nice suds, but it has really good lubricating. It works really well. All right, so if I ever need to work on a car, I need to strip it down and get rid of all the coatings to start fresh. I use Purple Power Vehicle and Boat Pressure Wash Concentrate. So I will use this full on in a foam cannon, just all the way up to the top, not mixed with any water, and I will get some stuff stripped off. It works really well. And then also probably a bucket wash with it as well. It works really good. This right here is W4 citrus foam. So this is kind of like it's still pH neutral, still coating safe, but it's the stronger of the soaps. I use this in a foam can as the foam, get everything off, and then spray the car off. And then, like I said, I'll move on to the G-Wash with the bucket method. But this stuff works really great. It goes a long way. So I'll also move to G-Technique for their microfibers. This is the MF1. These work really great. I have no complaints. I was using Rag Company before. These just seem like a much better quality. I like the pile. They just really work well. They great static to get stuff off the car. And like I said, compared to this, I also have their waffle weave drying towels as well. But I don't use them as much since I spray the car off. But it's great for when I'm traveling. And I also use the IK sprayer when I'm traveling as the way to put foam on the car when I'm at one of those portable car washes somewhere. One other thing that I use that works really well is distilled water for the foam cannon. I'll have a video on that as well at some point about the best ways to get as much foam as possible. There are so many ways to get foam. So last but not least, we have our wand. We use this to rinse off the car. When it's just the wheels, I just use the tip here on the gun, and then when wash the rest of the car off, I use the wand. Now this is a 3.0 orifice, 40-degree tip. A lot of people don't know that there's actually different orifice sizes, which changes the flow rate, which changes your PSI, changes your gallons per minute, all that kind of stuff. Learn this from Obsessed Garage, so if you want to check him out, check his YouTube, Matt. I thank you for doing that research. He researched this exact model and told me the exact orifice size that would make the best spray pattern and the best foam, which is a 3.0. So you want to check out his channel. He's got a ton of research on all kinds of different kinds of pressure washers. So the orifice size matters. The same with the foam cannon. It just depends, these lower pressure washers, to get exactly what you want. You have to change it. A lot of the stuff that's out there that's standard, that's meant for gas pressure washers that have a lot higher flow gallon per minute, a lot higher pressure. But you don't want too high of a pressure. So this actually helps fan it down to about 1,000 PSI, so you can hold your hand and it doesn't hurt your hand when you're about 8 inches away. That's the perfect amount, because you don't want to harm the surface. You don't want to, push the dirt further into the surface and cause a scratch, that kind of stuff. A lot of stuff people don't really realize that. That's about it for this cart and the products. We're gonna pick up the camera now and give you a nice little walk around, explain a little more while we do that. But don't forget, in the description below, there will be links to a lot of these products. We'll also have a link to G-Technique where you can use my code to get 10% off there as well. You get a little bit better idea of the cart from this angle. You can see how much room it has. It's just so much more convenient. That's the reason I built it. I didn't want to be trapped having a pressure washer up on the wall or anything. I wanted to be able to move it wherever I wanted. Like I said, there's the reel, the gun, that cheap pressure washer. We got our detail brushes hanging off the side, blower. We got all of our cleaners and products that we went over already. This thing's awesome. I'll definitely be doing a video on that. It's just so convenient. So we can't forget about one of the most important parts of this cart that makes it work that isn't actually on the cart, and that supplies the power to the pressure washer and to the blower. And I've already done a video on it as well. You can check it out. Installing a extension cord reel on the ceiling. This allows us to be more mobile, easier to put everything away. Before, we used to have an extension cord here that we had to wrap up. It's one of the few things that I hated about washing, was having to clean up. Now with the hose reel and with the extension cord reel, it doesn't bother me as much anymore to clean up because it's so much easier. We can't forget the ever important back saver stool that I was sitting on the whole time. Harbor Freight stool works really great. Helps especially when you're cleaning your wheels and your exhaust. So I hope you enjoyed that video on the wash cart. Heidi really just wanted to say bye. She was in the background in a lot of the video, but she felt a little left out. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.